Hey guys, it's Mike, and based on the responses that I got in my last video, you guys seem to want action poses, so I decided to do a video on drawing a running pose from the front view. So what I did was I started off with a face looking forward, and now I'm drawing the shoulders. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to angle it like that. So I think in a running pose, it's good to have the shoulders tilted. And what I'm doing now is drawing that rounded trapezoid shape using just basic anatomy that I showed you guys in my videos on proportions. So we're just going to find the pose for this first stage using simple shapes. Here is the collarbone line. And so this area is going to be the top of this shape. You can sort of see it in dimension. And this is the center line. And now, if it helps you, you don't have to do this, but you can use circles for the joints. So shoulders, elbows, things like that. Maybe it'll help you visualize the joints better. And right below the torso, I'm going to draw in the hips, and I'm going to try and have the angle oppose the shoulders, so it's going to be tilted in the opposite way. And this shape is going to be that melted marshmallow shape that we drew before, just below the torso. And if you want to show the top of it, excuse me, you can draw sort of a flattened oval. And we just connected it with two lines, and that's his torso. So now coming from that circle for the shoulder, we're going to draw his arms. And remember, the trick is to find the bottom of the rib cage. And I'm going to draw a curved arc like that because it pivots around the shoulder. And so you can find the elbow. And now from the elbow, two lines, I slightly curve it just a little bit as I'm heading towards the wrist. The lines or the space between the lines by the elbow is slightly wider than the wrist area. So it slopes downward like that. And another simple shape just for the fist. And now these two lines for the top of his arm may look parallel, but I'm going to try and make it like that, because this arm is coming towards us from the shoulder to the elbow, so the lines will kind of fan out like that. And what's cool is it's the opposite for the back shoulder, because the arm is going away from us from the shoulder to the elbow, so the width will get smaller like that. That's kind of just some little perspective. And so now we can use another circle for the elbow. And from that, we can draw his forearm down to his other hand. So you can see I'm just using basic shapes to block in the pose. And next, we're drawing his underwear. Not actually, but it's the underwear line. And that's really key because from that line comes his leg. And just like that arm that is coming towards us, this leg is coming towards us. So we're going to fan the lines outwards because it's coming toward us. So not parallel, but getting wider. And that's a good tip to remember, is when things are coming towards you, what you think is parallel lines is actually getting wider because of perspective. And so we'll just draw a circle for his knee. And we can move on to his other leg. So this leg, I'm trying to get it so it's going away from us because he's pushing off behind him. So remember, parallel lines going away from us, so it's getting smaller, like that. And drawing in his knee, and you can see that this circle for his knee is much smaller than that circle, because it's, farther back. And now because this forward leg is bent, I think you're not going to see too much of his lower leg, his shin. So this rectangle shape is going to be his foot, going to be the top of his foot. And I'm going to finish this off with his other leg. blocking in his shoe, I want to get that feeling of he's pushing off of that shoe. And now we have finished the first stage, which is using simple shapes, simple anatomy to find the pose. And you can see that we've used just simple shapes. We've used what looks like cylinders and circles for joints. And I like to think of it as a mannequin or a toy. And what you're doing is you are moving these parts around. And if you can picture, moving the arm around the joints, and that's how you pose the character, if you can picture it that way. And so for the next stage, what I'm going to do is take my kneaded eraser and gently go over all the lines. And I like to say that I'm leaving a ghost of an image. And what this does is it gives us a really good foundation for the next stage, which is where we add in all the details. Now I'm using just a black pencil, HB I believe. And if you want, you can do another pass with your blue pencil to figure out all the clothes and all the details. But I think I have an idea of what I want to do, so I will be just doing the final line. And so I like to break up my drawing into stages because in the first stage, it's mainly focused on finding the pose. And I don't have to worry about, folds and clothes and details. I can just focus on the pose. And then once the pose is done, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's solved. And now I can focus on details like what he's wearing, what he looks like. And so it helps me to not be overwhelmed because I'm not thinking about everything at once. I'm sort of thinking about things one step at a time. And actually having the pose there, you can see in this drawing, the ghost of an image really helps to put in the clothing because you can see where the elbows are and you can see where everything is. So actually here's a good spot. Watch this line. It's straight and it curves. For this view of the arm when it's coming forward, that's how you draw the forearm as it connects to the elbow with a curve like that. And remember, these lines aren't going to be parallel, but slowly or slightly getting wider. And folds often happen at joints, places like the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists, basically where things bend. So you can see I'm drawing this back arm, and near the wrist I'm adding just a little bump for a fold. And see, I'm using my blue pencil again. Whenever you're stuck, you can use your blue pencil to figure stuff out. I've drawn two shapes, and now in that little second shape, I'm drawing his fingers. That first line is straight. And now watch this bottom line. It's going to be curved. Straight on top, curve on the bottom. And so remember, folds happen a lot where things bend. And I guess with he's wearing a hoodie, so it's what do you call it? It's pulled up to his waist. So it's going to be scrunched. It's going to be folding a lot by the waist. And now for his waist area, a couple bumps because there's a lot of folds by his waist. And remember, that is that underwear line. That's actually a good one because when the leg bends, you're going to see that fold. And right above that, another one. Here's like a triangular fold. Now I'm going to move on to drawing his pants. And this bottom curve, it's like a sad face. Follows the shape of the leg. Like that. And for the other leg, it's like a happy face. I guess because it's falling, it's not draping onto the leg. Like that other leg. And now I'm going to draw his shin, because I think you're going to see a little bit of it. So just a curve for his shin. And then now I'm going to draw the top of his shoes. So first I draw the shape, the outline, and then a rectangle for the laces. And I'll finish up his other leg. And that is our running pose. So I don't know if you guys think this is, maybe it's, if you think it's complicated or maybe it's too difficult. Let me know what you think about, I guess, this drawing. And I'm just finishing up with some detail, but I think a good next video would be how to shade this character. And there are two shading styles that I like to do. One is an anime style, and the other is a style that I've seen Kishimoto do in Naruto. So leave a comment, let me know which style you'd like to see me shade for this character, and I will get to it. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys next time.